Mail-in and absentee ballots. Convenience, real risk, documented fraud cases, and how to secure them. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Spin Cycle America, where we just have a conversation about what is going on in the world around us. I'm your host, Todd. We're going to continue on day 3 of our week-long series on possible fraud with elections. You be the judge. Hey, everybody. Again, welcome back to day 3 of our 6-day series on election integrity under scrutiny. On day 1, we covered the basics of election fraud, how rare it is at scale. Day 2 looked at foreign interference, serious influences, ops, but no successful vote tampering per official reports. And today, we're going to take another look, or we're going to talk about mail-in absentee ballots. These are super convenient for millions of voters, especially seniors, military folks, and people with disabilities. But they also come with real vulnerabilities. We'll look at documented fraud cases, the overall risk level, and practical ways to make the system even safer. So let's talk about the pros of mail-in voting. The thing has pros and cons, but we're going to hit the pros. Pros. So first, the update, the upside. Mail ballots make voting easier. Of course, you don't have to go anyplace. No long lines, no need to take time off of work, and usually higher turnout for many places. States like Oregon and Washington have used universal mail voting for years with good results and very little fraud. During COVID-19, or COVID 2020, I should say, expanded mail options help keep elections running safely, but convenience shouldn't come at the cost of security. And this becomes the problem: vulnerability and real risks. So here's where the problem can happen, or where the problems can happen. So chain of command, or chain of custody, I should say, can be the real issue. Ballots moving through the mail or being collected by a third party. Signature forgery or fake witness signatures. Ballot harvesting, someone collecting multiple ballots. Requests for ballots in the names of dead people or non-residents. Well, there's a scary thought. Dead person voting? Ugh. It's pretty good. Long distance voting. Coercion or filling out someone else's ballot without permission. These aren't just theoretical, theatrical. Some are proven cases. This is why particular administrations want to do away with mail-in voting. That makes sense, because it's easier to cheat on mail-in voting. However, there are a lot of safeguards in place. There has been some noted cases of it. We're going to talk about that, right? Documented fraud cases. Real examples from court records and convictions. So in North Carolina, 2018, a congressional race had to be redone after a ballot harvesting scheme operative, McCrae Dowless, and others were accused of illegally collecting absentee ballots, forging signatures, and filling in votes. Several people pleaded guilty. The state board ordered a new election. Really? Come on, people. It's a vote. Stop being stupid. Let's get the right vote here. It's in the Constitution. Holy cow. Milwaukee, 2022. This was just recently. Oh my goodness. Former election committee deputy director Kimberly Zapata was convicted of fraud for requesting fake military absentee ballots under false names and sending them to a state legislator's home. Really? Come on now, people. It's common sense. If they're not there, eventually you're going to get caught. Eventually it's going to come out. Other cases tracked by the Heritage Foundation include people forging signatures on absentee applications, family members voting deceased relative ballots, or operatives stuffing ballots. Hundreds of absentee related convictions over the years through many or local small scale. So these show a real weakness, especially with lax rules on harvesting or poor verification. So we need to get a handle on this. Of course, it's not widespread, I guess you could say. But if we don't do it now, we're going to lose trust. So this is what talks about trust. Who can we trust? Can we trust everybody? Because once we start to lose trust in just that much, then we're going to lose trust in our election system. Do you trust how they're being conducted now? How our election systems are being conducted? Do you think they're being done in a fair way? You be the call. You be the judge. You answer it. Many of you probably say no. Some of you probably say yes. If your candidate's winning, of course you're going to say yes. If your candidate's losing, you're probably going to say no, it's being rigged. You don't. Despite the cases, studies show fraud in mail ballots is still very low compared to the huge numbers cast. Analysis using heritage data and others found rates to be very low, roughly 4 fraudulent cases per 10 million mail in ballots in recent elections. This is tiny, but even small numbers matter if they erode trust. Remember, we're trying to trust people. And if we don't trust what's going on, how are we going to trust people that we put in office? So here's the problem. When one candidate believes there is an issue with his or her election results, it hits the news. Then trust begins to disappear. Because if they don't believe it, do you think the rest of the public's going to believe it? Of course not. They're going to push it down to their people, and then their people are going to push it down to the public. And there we have it, the lack of trust. Mail votes, of course, has higher fraud potential than in person, which is why safeguards are critical. Safeguards and reforms are at work for that work. Good news is that we can fix these problems or these issues. So stricter signature verification compare to voter file with a cure process, so legitimate ballots are not tossed. We don't want to toss legitimate ballots. People are doing that. Trust me, it's been done. Barcode tracking, so voters can see their ballot arrive. Wow, there's a novel idea. So I can track my ballot to see it get from here to there. How cool would that be? I get a notice in my email or on my phone. My ballot arrived. My ballot was counted. What a novel idea that would be. Problem is, one or two of the parties, somebody on one party or one side does not want to do it. It's sad. limits or bans on third-party ballot harvesting in many states, secure drop boxes with cameras and chain of custody logs. I don't get what the problem is, why we can't do things like this. Paper ballots plus post-election audits. We need to audit all this stuff. Check it out. As long as your candidate's winning, we have no problem with it, right? Give me a break. No excuse absentee is fine, but with stronger ID requirements for requests when possible. The problem is, one side or the other does not want absentee ballots. Or I should say, one side does not want IDs. I'm like, really? Are you serious? Give me a break. States that combine convenience with these checks have high confidence in low problems. So if you put IDs out there and make everybody have an ID, it's going to make it a lot harder for somebody to commit fraud. Even the people that are monitoring will have a harder time to commit fraud. So in closing, that's a 3-day, or that's day 3. Tomorrow on day 4, we're going to examine voting machines. Are they hackable? What about paper trails and audits? Think about that. Can voter machines be hacked? Are they hooked to the internet? Can somebody get into them? So what's your biggest concern with mail voting? With mail-in voting? Drop your thoughtful comments below with sources if you have them. Subscribe, hit the bell for the rest of the series so that you don't leave or miss any of the series. All sources are linked in the description below. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow on the next episode of Spin Cycle America. You all have an outstanding day.